Hello everyone, welcome to the Sideboard. I am Glenn Jones and I'm here with Joe Bernal.
Oh.
Joe, you're definitely an area player, see you at the Indy Opens pretty much all the time. You're from the Chicago area, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, well, last weekend you had a nice little moment, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You won a PTQ in the modern format.
Yes, I did.
What deck did you play?
I played Blue, White, Red Splinter Twin. It's a deck that Caleb Durward kind of used a lot in extended season a long time ago.
A few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, a few years ago. And that format had like Jace and all sorts of awesome cards in it. So a lot of banned cards in modern. So it was pretty easy to like kind of port that deck over. But it's like just a Blue, White, Red Splinter Twin deck with a lot of good value cards and good removal spells and stuff like that. Yeah.
So you liked it for the tournament, obviously. You
Yeah.
managed to win it. I know you and Caleb differed on builds. If you guys are interested in Caleb's rundown, he wrote an article for Channel Fireball. They can find that there. But obviously you prefer your build.
Yes, definitely.
So what are your favorite things about the deck?
Well, okay, so the deck is just like pretty well positioned in modern just because it gives you like a combo kill. Like it gives you a combo kill and it gives you decent disruption for the other combo decks, and you have decent removal. All the aggro decks kind of just get colded by Wall of Omens except for Affinity, but I mean whatever, it's Affinity, it's not that big. Like the good aggro decks right now are like Experiment 1 decks or Kurt Abe, stuff like that,
Sure.
like the Zoo decks. So Wall of Omens is like insane versus them just on its own. Also, you can put a Splinter Twin on Wall of Omens, which is actually just, secretly the best card in the deck is Wall of Omens, and putting a Splinter Twin on it is just actually insane. So I like the deck a lot because it gives you a bunch of different angles. You get to like choose where the game is going at all points in time. Like you really get to choose the like flow of the game. Like you get to
pick your own adventure.
Right. Like you get to do pretty much whatever you want and interact with your opponent like every turn of the game. You have a bunch of 1-mana removal spells, really good disruption, and you don't have a lot of card selection because there's not a lot of it in the format. But you do have like good like raw cantrips like Wall of Omens and Remand.
Right, as opposed to using stuff like Serum Vision and Sleight of Hand, you're using cards that generate value on the board in addition to helping you get through the deck.
Speaking of that, that's another big thing about that I don't. The blue-red Splinter Twin decks are all playing like Sleight of Hand and Serum Visions when I'm pretty sure those cards are just, in my opinion, I think they're just miserable in modern.
They're not fantastic.
No, I don't think they are. And like, I think Remand is like kind of the best cantrip for in blue, and Wall of Omens is definitely insane like in white. So the deck just really does everything, and also lets you kind of. You get to really confuse people. They don't. They have like all these bad cards versus Splinter Twin, and then post board you get to just kind of board out some pieces of your combo. So they're making their deck worse by boarding in like these kind of questionable sideboard cards. They're really good against just a dedicated Splinter Twin deck.
Sure.
But like when you're just trying to like grind them out with Celestial Colonnades and stuff like that, their deck just gets significantly worse while yours gets better because you're taking out these like combo only cards. Shave some Splinter Twins, shave like a Deceiver X card. You get to really, depending on how many cards you think they're going to board in or like what they're playing, you get to board out cards and just become like a value deck that can just like Sword of Feast and Famine them or grind them out with Cryptic Commands.
Right, you've got just a lot of options. You can really morph the deck in sideboard.
Yeah.
So, after winning the tournament, were there any edits you might make to your list? Any cards overperform, underperform?
Well, I know Caleb said he really liked Lightning Helix. That was something that he played 2 Lightning Helix. I played 2 Is It Charm. Very different cards, but very good in different situations.
Yeah. They both kill Death Red Shaman and Dark Confidant, which I think is like the primary concern.
Definitely. Yeah. You have to kill Dark Confidant for sure. Still, like I think that's true in just any format it's ever been in. Like you have to kill that thing immediately, or it just takes control of the game. So that's the most important. But then also, Is It Charm counters Liliana. It can also help in like a counter war or something like that. And Lightning Helix is just absurd versus like the Bump in the Night decks, Lava Spike decks, those things like those.
Any pure racing strategy.
Yeah,
is
like
just really good card.
When they're trying to aim a 3 damage burn spell in your face and you kill a guy and gain 3 life, or even if you're just racing them, because this deck like does that pretty well too. Yeah. It can put a pretty serious clock on you while pressuring your stuff. Like it's not going to play like power heavy guys, it's just gonna
Right.
like disrupt you, and then like beat you down. So
It's very difficult to not to keep your removal around or even actively use it on Deceiver Exarchs, and at the same time not get beat to death by like Restoration Angels and
Yeah.
Celestial Colonnades. Like those creatures will end the game very quickly.
definitely.
Okay, well, I think that's a good rundown. Like I said, if anyone wants more information, they can obviously find Caleb's article on the deck. I know you guys worked sort of together, but sort of separately on it, right?
Yeah,
You came to like close decks, but it was probably about 15 cards off in total.
Yeah, it was.
Something like that.
We discussed it on the car ride. Like I played Blue Red Twin at a St. Louis PTQ and lost to someone playing like main decks Torpor Orb, and
Started to blow your brains out.
and like a lot of other random things that like I really like because I was just a combo deck, and it was really hard for me to actually like just manually kill someone like without Splinter Twin. But so I really wanted to do something else with the deck. I wanted it to do other stuff. And me and Caleb started talking, and we thought about the old. I don't know who made the deck originally a long time ago, but that deck, the Wall of Woman Splinter Twin deck, and then we just started brewing like kind of on our own at first, and then we would like talk about it, and we came out with similar, like the same concept, but little
Slightly
little
different,
different. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, obviously it worked out for both of you.
Yeah.
You wound up in the finals facing one another,
Yeah.
but it worked out a little bit better for you since you're
Yeah,
not going to Pro
definitely.
Tour Dragons.
Oh yeah, it was great. I got to crush him. It was sweet. Yeah.
All right, well, congrats on the PTU win, Joe. And I'm going to go ahead and throw to a deck tech we did with Jeff Hoogland, who you might remember from an earlier round on SCG Live, his 4-color loan deck. So check that out.
SCG